Lots going on, so I'm going to hop right into it. So much happening with PSYC Corp currently. This first item hits close to home, so I'd like to get right into it. Talk to us a little bit about PSYC's recent acquisition of stockdaymedia and what it means to the company's ongoing development as a media holding company for emerging market sectors.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, Matthew, I want to welcome you to the stockdaymedia team. Very excited to have you on board here with us. I know you've got some large shoes to fill here, taking over as the host of the podcast for Everett Jolly, who is the CEO and founder of Stockday and has been hosting the show for the last several years. But if there's anyone capable of filling those shoes and going beyond that, it certainly is you. So we're really excited to have you on board here.
Thank you.
And we're very excited overall about the acquisition here of Stockdaymedia. You know, I would be lying if I said I hadn't had Stockday circled as a potential targeted acquisition for the last year or so, because, you know, I've really had my sights set on them. You know, I've been a proud guest on the Stockday show for over 3 years now, really since I took over as CEO of PSYC Corp back in the summer of 2020. They were one of the first platforms that offered me an opportunity to be able to amplify my message and being able to connect effectively and efficiently with the shareholders of PSYC Corp, as well as really, you know, putting us out there in front of other folks within the investment community, particularly individuals following the micro-cap and penny stock world. It really is what Stockday does best. I'm not the only CEO that speaks highly of their services and what they have done. You know, anybody that has ran a micro-cap or penny stock company will certainly tell you that it's difficult to stand out. You know, you're trying to obviously build credibility, but it's also difficult to stand out in a very crowded marketplace. And, you know, Stockday really has done a great job with developing a platform that really does help CEOs and companies amplify their messaging. So for us, it was sort of a no-brainer in terms of being able to bring them in underneath the umbrella of PSYC Corp here as we continue to build the company into a formidable media holding company here for emerging industries, being able to diversify and grow outside of only the psychedelic space. So, you know, for us, we also saw it as an opportunity to strengthen our balance sheet. And, you know, Matthew, you're going to hear me talking about that a lot here today, our balance sheet. And that's because it's priority number one for the board and I right now in terms of where our focus is. It really is focused on strengthening, redeveloping, and completely restructuring our company's balance sheet. We understand how important a role that plays in helping to drive the value back into this company and ultimately driving the value back into the shareholders here of PSYC Corp. But where a lot of that starts is revenue. And with Stockday, we have the opportunity to bring in a media asset that is revenue generating. It's not something that we've got to sit here and try to figure out how to get it, you know, started with revenue. They've been consistently doing north of $200,000 a year in gross annual revenue earnings for the last several years. And some of their best years, they've hit, you know, $500,000. And, you know, those are strong, modest numbers for, you know, the small team that Everett had. And, you know, they have accomplished a lot. But for us now to be able to plug our resources in here to Stockday, we see an opportunity to scale. And we've taken a very close look at this asset, this platform. And my team and I, including yourself, you know, we see a real opportunity here to be able to grow this into something that can generate well north of $1 million in annual gross revenue earnings here for the company. Now, there's no guarantee that can happen, but we've got a plan in place. And, you know, the board and I feel very confident that we can roll this out and then we can turn Stockday into a very integral part of the overall monetization strategy that we're continuing to build here for PSYC Corp. So with all that, we're very excited to have it as part of the PSYC Corp family. But more importantly, we're excited for the potential that we believe it's going to bring here to the company from a value standpoint.